Bon Quizzle Quizzle! I am Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic, your reigning and defending Cultaholic heavyweight champion, and welcome to all these WTF moments for last night's Monday Night Raw. And spank my arse and call me Gertrude, was last night's Raw a mixed bag or what? First of all, Seth Rollins in this new arsehole preacher role with his top-knot twin Buddy Murphy. I am digging that kind of ting. Andrade versus Ronald Mysterious was Andrade versus Ronald Mysterious levels of good, but with ladders involved as well, therefore it had to be better. We had new Raw Tag Team Champions crowned in a fun match. We had Brock Lesnar being a wonderful bastard by kicking Trevor Ricochet in the dick. We had a slow motion montage of Otis edited on top of Val Venus's theme. It's the kind of content we want, and I thought the main event was fun. It left you feeling a bit bleh, but the match itself, it was alright, wasn't it? And all of that happened on the same show as the rest of that Street Profits segment. Matt Hardy getting fed to Erick Rowan of all people, and a couple of more bad things to boot. Mixed bag, hit the titles.
WTF! WTF!
No, we're not having it. You cannot have fire, then no pyro. It's like we're almost about to sneeze. We're on the brink, but we don't quite get there. It's like we've got trapped wind. It's like we're on the edge, you know I'm going there, of ejaculating without doing so. It just felt like there should have been a bit more, you know? It was like the background pyro of Booker T's entrance without the initial bang and flames. It just felt weird, you know? I see now, they're still calling that main event from last week a fist fight, even though Kevin Owens was the only person involved in that match to throw any of them fists. Just like that. And I was just left thinking, why did they have to give it such a crappy name that quite obviously was not going to match the stuff we were seeing with their own eyes? They backed themselves into corners they don't have to back themselves into sometimes, don't they? And I don't know about you, but during that opening match last night, I just loved the way that Vic Joseph, and his very angry face when he's speaking, just skimmed over the custody of Dominic ladder match. Rey Mysterio had some classic ladder matches, including that one with Eddie Guerrero. He said, "Tell us more, Victor, tell us more." It's like when your pals ask you what you did on your night out last night, but you know what happened, and you're just too ashamed to tell them. Now, we all know that Andrade is really good at the wrestling, but quite frankly, we've been underestimating that man for quite some time now. Look at how perfect that bump is there in relation to where the ladder is placed. Yes, I think he clipped his head and or his neck on the ladder on the way down, but not enough to hurt himself in any serious way. Quite frankly, a lesser man would be walking around without a head right now if they tried that. Well, spank my arse and call me Gertrude once again if Ronald Mysterious falling all the way from where the title is suspended above the ring to the mat, landing on the tops of his shoulders, isn't absolutely mad. Well, Ronald Mysterious taking a hammerlock DDT from one ladder through another ladder is. And right now I'd like to provide you with a quick reminder that Ronald Mysterious is 45 years of age. He has had 756 different knee operations over the course of a 30+ year career. And he's doing that nonsense. Unbelievable, seems Jeffrey. Who else thought it was going to be Dom? Who else thought that Ronald Mysterious was sick of getting done by Andrade, so Ronald Mysterious got Dom, so Dom could dominate Andrade? Don't get done, get Dom. I mean, I did for one, and nothing against Humberto, but bloody hell, what a letdown there. Those dimples, they do nothing for me. Now you can just imagine Aleister Black strutting around the backstage area like the cock of the proverbial walk after those 3 decisive victories over Buddy Murphy over the last little while. He must be thinking, bloody hell, after those 3 decisive victories, I'm getting rocket strapped to the main event. But what's happened? He's fighting nobodies, yet the person who he defeated 3 times is in the main event scene. Tag team champions. How does that make any sense? So next up we have Vic Joseph asking Jerry the King Lawler, "Here, Jerry, do you reckon that Randy Orton is right when he reckons Drew McIntyre isn't on par with him?" Jerry responds with this. Then, after the silence, Vic has to say again, "Jerry, is that something you agree with?" And Jerry the King Lawler responds to him then, "Can't you see I'm trying to concentrate?" Could you imagine the scenario where a professional wrestling commentator of the last 1,000,000 years didn't realise that to do that job, you need to look and talk at the same time? What was the crap with that, Jerry? And then we have that same WWE commentator of the last 1,000,000 years asking the question, don't you think the person who enters the Royal Rumble in the number 30 slot has the best chance of winning? Proven he's never ever seen a Royal Rumble before in his life, even though he's commentated on millions. Everybody knows that number 27 is the number you want, because from the number 27 spot, we've got the most winners. Number 30 has only had 3 winners in the past. There's some stats for you. Now, as we all know, Randy Orton has some voices in his head. They counsel him, they fled, followed by some horrible guitar. But I reckon at this moment right here, the voices inside Randy Orton's head were saying, "Oh, Randy, your titty's on fire, isn't it?" So next up we have Becky Lynch saying that Asuka is the one doubting herself ahead of the championship match on Sunday at the Royal Rumble, because instead of facing Becky Lynch in the ring, Asuka's on YouTube cooking, and I quote, "soup." And when Becky said this, I was thinking, if I was in Asuka's shoes and I had signed a contract for a massive championship match at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, the match was going to happen for sure, I would not be doing any physical contact 6 days removed from that match itself. I've said it many times before on this absolute nonsense of a video series, but WWE babyfaces are naive idiots, aren't they? Not noble, naive idiots. I'm asking the question, did Kairi Sane actually tap out on last night's Raw? Now, I've looked at the official rule book for WWE that definitely exists somewhere, and in order to tap out legitimately, you have to scream, "I quit, I tap out, I give up," or strike the mat 3 times. And Kairi, she only hit the mat twice. I reckon she was screwed last night, Kairi Sane was, which means we saw the Kansas screw job last night on Raw. And I've just made up this second that Becky Lynch whacked Paul Heyman right in the face, dropping the Advocate where he stood. And we're going to be talking about this for 20 years to come, so we are. Big happening, it's huge. And next up we have Sarah Schreiber, who appeared to be a very nice lady until this segment on last night's Raw, where she proved to be a little bit too much like that massive poo stirrer, Charlie Caruso, when she asked Asuka the following question: "How, Asuka, is this the kind of champion you want to be known for? Someone who attacks from behind, somebody who needs somebody else's help, somebody who uses a toxin as an advantage? Sarah Schreiber." Woo! It's almost like Asuka's NXT Women's Championship and SmackDown Live Women's Championship reigns didn't happen. Sarah Schreiber. And then we have Big Vic Joseph and his very angry voice when he's talking, saying that Asuka cannot jump Becky Lynch from behind this Sunday at the Royal Rumble. She can though, can't she? So there we have it. Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy are the new Raw Tag Team Champions. Just imagine saying that about 10 minutes before the end of last week's show. We've come a long way in a very short space of time. But as I said at the start, I'm digging it. But basically, when Seth Rollins won the Raw Tag Team Championships once again, I concluded that Seth Rollins is either a crow or a raven, because that's the only reasonable explanation as to why he's so fixated, obsessed with the Raw Tag Team Championships, a belt in WWE that died a death a long time ago. Hey, so silver and shiny. So many times he's held those things, now it's a proper kink that he's got for the Raw Tag Team titles. And I'm not here to kink shame, but it's a really weird thing for main eventer, single star Seth Rollins to be so obsessed with, is it not? But there's also one more thing that didn't sit well with me when I saw Buddy and Seth, the Top Knot Power Trip, lifting their tag team titles in the air. It's this scenario. We have a faction now on Monday Night Raw, led by the Messiah, followed by the Disciples. In those Disciples is a bona fide tag team who sat back and watched a makeshift tag team win the tag team championships. Surely their goal while in WWE. That's right, everybody, we had the AOP looking like a massive pair of cooks, watching as the Top Knot Power Trip did their thing. Eggs on faces, what you doing, lads? Sort it out. And shame on you, Montez Ford, for fat shaming Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's going to enter a shrimp eating contest, is he, Montez Ford? And when Paul Heyman's finished, shrimp are going to be extinct, are they? How dare you? That's my father you're talking about, you dick. Quite frankly, Montez Ford, I hope he eats you. But more, that segment was horrible, wasn't it? Apart from the Otis, the slow motion Otis, getting edited on top of Val Venus' theme. Ping! quite frankly. Somebody call the RSPCA because presumably that thing in Erick Rowan's box is an animal, perhaps a honey badger. That's a callback to the news video this morning. Everyone loves a callback. Yes, it bit Erick Rowan in the hand. It made him bleed his own blood. But Erick Rowan, that is no reason for you to be stotting it up and down like a basketball, you dick. And then we have the moment where Jerry Lawler was struggling to remember the last time a married couple wrestled a match together in a WWE ring. And everybody was screaming this out. Even I was, and I know nothing. The Miz and Maurice versus Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella. Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cellar. Brie Bella. Hell in a Cell 2018. Two married couples there. Jerry, you damn it. And next up we have a direct quote from Lana who said, "I don't even know what to say or do." And I was thinking, tell us something we don't know. What the hell has happened to your promos, you silly woman? And that's it for the WTF moments from last night's Raw. As I said, a mixed bag, but I think the good just about outshone the bad. And that's a good thing. Raw is turning into a good wrestling show week on week on week, I reckon, for a 3-hour thing. If it was 2 hours, you could cut off the nonsense we saw. And just to let everybody know, I'll be working this Saturday, so SmackDown WTF moments will be out before the Royal Rumble. Because I can, basically. I can't every week, but I can this week, so I'm going to do it. So, come on. See ya. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. And if you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Hit subscribe and join us.